Happy evening, guys! It is Cap Corgi, or happy morning, actually. It's morning for me. But I wanted to cover some really cool news. A situation about a game called Hytale. This was something that I covered several months ago, all the way back in 4 months ago. 4 months ago, where I talked about how this promising game, a competitor to Minecraft, essentially, was killed by Riot Games and, lack of funding, things like that. And it was a very unfortunate situation, and I'll link this video in the description below if you want to hear about this situation. And it seemed like it was going to be, just kind of rough, like a rough situation. But, guys, I am so pleased to tell you that after 4 months, it has actually turned the corner. Hytale is no longer dead. It was dead at the time. It is no longer dead. It has been bought back and saved and acquired from Riot Games by the original creator of Hytale, the original creator, which is really, really, really cool. We'll talk about this and more, so get ready, guys. This is actually oh my god, it is such good news. I'm so excited for this, and it's just nice to see a good story. So here's what happened. Originally, Simon Hypixel, he was one of the original creators of Hytale. There's a few of them, and it was this entire very unfortunate situation where, at least 4 months ago, Riot Games bought out the game Hytale about, I think, was it 4 years ago? So it was quite a while ago. 4 years ago is a considerable amount of time. And this is a game that, when the original video for this game, all the way back in 6 years ago, came out, everyone was super hyped. 61 million views on this one trailer. And it looks really cool. Like, we'll let it play in the background while I start to discuss it. It looks really, really cool. Obviously some more interesting graphics, more fidelity, more, I guess, like a realistic nature compared to Minecraft. And while I love Minecraft, I absolutely adore it. It is one of the OGs. It's one of the greatest games ever made. You and I and everyone pretty much can agree on that. At least in terms of how iconic it was and everything. It is a game that, when it has updates and everything, it's not really around the RPG adventure aspect of the game. Sometimes it is, sometimes you get some minor improvements here and there, and that's great. But all in all, this is like combat, this is like RPG style, is like survival style, crafting style gameplay that you would find in a game like, Enshrouded, which came out, it's really big, Valheim, things like that. And the Minecraft voxel nature was something that people really wanted this RPG style feel of, compared to, the lack of that you get in Minecraft. And Minecraft is great in many ways. No knock on Minecraft, but there's room for other competition. And Hytale saw this. And so they released this trailer 6 years ago with a Kickstarter. Everyone went crazy, and people watched this video to the tune of, like I said, 61 million views. Then fast forward about, 6 years, and actually a couple of years, it was bought out by Riot Games, who makes League of Legends, Valorant, and all of that. And they had a very unfortunate turn where the game was dead. And after 4 years, they spent a lot of money on it, they said, and I covered this in this video, basically they talked about how, they just couldn't support the game anymore. And then a lot of devs came out that worked at the Hytale studios, and they were like trying to basically figure out and do a post-mortem, and various weird things came out. Not bad weird, but weird in terms of a lot of people started asking the question, why did this game have to die? Some developers came out and they said, hey, we actually had a playable version of Hytale. Something that you could play, sink your teeth into, get your hands on. And then we decided to redo the engine. Or, then some other devs talked about we had a lot of detail put in, and we did a lot of this and not a lot of that, and then we tried to add more multiplayer functionality and so on and so forth. And this type of thing where the game seems to be coming to a close, it seems to be getting done, and then the breadth of the game, the depth, the features of the game, basically they ran into feature creep where they just kept adding more and more and more, and the game and the project started to just balloon out of control. That is why Riot Games at some point, about 4 or 5 months ago, decided to pull the plug. And it was very unfortunate, but then like I said, you heard from these devs that, hey, we were actually pretty close to a possible way to play the game. We're pretty close to a possible way that you guys as consumers could actually, give us some feedback, enjoy the gameplay itself, and at least the base gameplay, and we could go from there. And Simon Hypixel was one of the original creators before it was bought out by Riot Games. He had many, many different posts. Let me see if I can find the old posts where he talked about, hey, we might have a path forward. He said very cryptic things like that. And this is over the last several months. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, here we go. So about, let's see. Yeah, Hypixel's team, self-funded game studio, how he's creating a new self-funded game studio, how basically they're trying to figure out a way to move on and create a new game. They were trying to create like a path forward to get Hytale back. Hytale back. Hypixel was the original server that they made in Minecraft, where they were basically added a lot of this functionality, and they decided to create their own game. It was just one of those very, very, yeah, he started to make cryptic news like no risk, no story, and he kept trying to like say like, just make it exist, you can make it good later. All of these things that hinted at what other devs were saying about how Hytale could have a path forward. And then he came out with this about 4 months ago. All in, locked in, made my final counter offer. This is the only chance to see Hytale. I'm going all in. This is the timeline. Let's fucking go. And talks about the offer is 10 times what the true market value is. They have no team. No one can even start or compile the game anymore. I hired most who could and will continue to do so in the upcoming days. Hytale is for the players, by the players. Then he continued on. I am in active discussion with Riot Games about acquiring Hytale. Updates will be limited for now as we work through it. Thank you for believing in Hytale. And then finally, we have the final update today. We did it. Hytale is saved. We have acquired Hytale from Riot Games. Huge thanks. We'll read his statement. Huge thanks to Riot for working with me to making this happen. They wanted what's best for the players, and that's for us to eventually play the game. Guys, I cannot tell you how rare of a feat this is. This type of thing never happens. This is a situation where Riot Games is a company that bought the rights to a game. So this is a game created by an indie studio. It became the most anticipated game of its ilk at the time of its announcement. Like I said, 61 million views on a trailer is bonkers numbers. I've actually never seen numbers like that for an indie game ever. And then it gets bought out by a AAA company, in this case Riot Games, and then it goes through development hell before getting completely canceled, everyone fired, the studio closes down, all the worst things. That was 5 months ago. Only to get bought back by its original creator, the one who started it all, Simon Hypixel. Guys, this is something that I've never seen happen in gaming. Unironically, I have never ever seen this. This is huge, and this is not only a huge W for Simon Hypixel, who really put his, his self on the line, and his net worth, his money, all the money he made by selling the game originally to Riot Games and so on. All of that he put on the line to get the game back. That is passion, that is love, that is true belief. Not only is it a huge W for Simon Hypixel, it's a huge W for Riot Games. This is a situation where I am sure the executive of Riot Games are pulling their hair out. They're like, oh my god, are you serious? This is like such a huge IP. We could have done something with it. 10 years down the road, 5 years down the road. A lot of game companies do this. You know, the big AAA companies. Embracer Group is a big example. They bought, like, you know, hundreds of different games IPs, and with the promise of, hey, we can use it later and maybe make a game of it later, and so on and so forth. Bought a bunch of studios, closed the studios down. And all of those games, like Deus Ex, for example, one of my favorite series of all time, it's just dead, gone, and has no chance of being recovered. Zero. Because no one who owns the IP wants to give up the IP, even if they can't do anything with it. Embracer Group is a prime example of this, and there's many others as well. The big one with Warner Brothers is a big one. There's several different ones, and they do this with game patents as well. I've talked plenty of times on this in this channel about that. But you know, it's usually something that goes poorly. Riot Games decided as a whole that they were going to let go of this IP because they would rather see the game made than they would rather see, you know, maybe they'll have a chance to make something out of this game 5 or 10 years from now. That is a crazy, crazy opportunity, crazy, rare thing to happen in gaming. And Riot deserves a huge W for this. I have ridiculed Riot Games. I'm a big player of League of Legends. I played it since literally its first days of creation, when it was in beta, when it was in early access and all that. That is when I first started playing League of Legends. I'm a big League player. I still am. And if you look at the League videos on this channel, you'll find that many of them, arguably most of them, are very negative and very critical of Riot Games. I have talked about how Riot Games, you know, has turned to gacha, has turned to gambling mechanics, has turned to increasing their costs onto the consumer, has absolutely shat the bed with the development of League of Legends in many ways, and so on and so forth. I've done a lot of this. So for me to call it out as a W, guys, I can tell you this is a huge W. If this was something where I could ridicule Riot Games, I would in an instant. But this is not. This is actually just an unequivocal, absolute, huge W from Riot Games. And this is one that I did not expect from them. I did not expect from them at all. But to continue with Simon Hypixel, this game has always been close to my heart. Excited to bring it back home. Real talk. Hytale isn't some polished AAA release waiting in the wings. It's messy, it's janky, and there's a lot of work to be done. My plan? Get it out to you as soon as possible. That's right, guys. The good news does not end yet. It continues. Not only are they buying it back, they bought it back, they got the rights back, and they're starting active development again. It's not like we have to wait a long time to be able to play the game. We can play it very soon. Very soon. How soon? I'm not exactly sure yet, but you know, it's at least extremely soon, it seems, which is really, really good. No more waiting. You'll get to play it rough edges and all, which is frankly all that us gamers were asking for. We don't expect Hytale to be the cleanest game ever. There's actually several different Minecraft competitors that are in early access right now, and they're all extremely rough. I've played several of them, and they're all really cool and unique in their own different ways. And pretty much their entire communities, and now I'll actually get, I played one called Everwind, which is a pretty recent one that came into early access during the most recent Steam Next Fest. And their community is almost unanimously hyper positive. They're like, we get it, it is jank, we believe in you, it's so cool to play this, we can't wait to see it grow. That is what most people think when they play a game like this, when they play an early access game that has rough edges. That is all the Hytale community, the group of people, the 61 million people that got hyped for Hytale originally. This is all he wanted. We wanted to be able to play the game. We wanted to be able to play it, rough edges and all. We're not expecting perfection. We're expecting early access. We're expecting that it'll be jank, broken, you know, all kinds of craziness. But we were hoping that it was real. We wanted to get our hands on it. We wanted to give feedback. We wanted to really try it. And finally, we see some real hope in this department. This is crazy. It won't be perfect day one, which we don't expect. My hope is that together we'll shape into something truly special. Thanks for believing in Hytale. Time to get to work. Follow at Hytale for more developments. And this is their official Twitter. So this is the original announcement trailer. And everyone is doing it like is being really positive. They're saying, hey, take your time. And Simon is responding, everyone being like, no, it's going to be half cooked, but I just want to get it out to you guys. I love this. Bellular is talking about it. Pirate Software is talking about it. Some of the biggest creators on the internet, some of the smallest creators on the internet, me, we're all talking about it, being like, dude, this is, yes, finally we get it. Finally, we're going to be able to play it. And this is, like I said, just a huge W, and extremely shocking, especially from where we were, like I said, 4 months ago when the game was literally dead. So this is just another announcement. Culture Crave says, Hytale's back in development. Project was canceled by Riot Games earlier this year. OG creators, so apparently it is 3. I did look into it. It is 3 of the original creators of Hytale. I think it's the original game developer, original programmer, and original something or other else. Graphics, I think they are the ones who bought the rights back altogether. And they rehired 30 of the original devs and have apparently committed to 10 years of funding. Development, like I said, started in 2015. Early access will be announced in the next few days. Now, granted, this video is coming out on the 23rd. This announcement was made on the 17th. So, as far as I've seen, I have not really seen another announcement yet, but I wasn't sure if there's been an update. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. I'm not entirely sure yet, but I will look into it. So if you guys want to hear more news about this, please do let me know in the comments below. Do you want to guys hear about the early access? Do you want to hear about the launch? Would you like to see some gameplay? There's all kinds of news coming out for this, and, it's pretty aggressive, pretty agile news, especially in the past week. So if you guys want to hear more, like I said, let me know what you would like to hear in the comments below. But going back to the video, Riot Games made their own announcement about this as well. Riot Games, they made a very strong statement about this, which was very good, very clear. After evaluating multiple offers, we've reached an agreement to return Hytale to Simon Hypixel, giving this community its best shot at experiencing a revised version of this game. Wishing the team the best of luck for what's ahead. This is crazy. And this is a great comment. Riot is the first multi-billion-dollar company at this point to break the, quote, it's my IP to sit on and do nothing with curse. Let's fucking go. And it's true. Like I said, I went over, you can look at the graveyard of dead video game IPs. Sega has multitudes of them. Nintendo has multitudes of them. Capcom. When was the last time you saw a fucking Mega Man game? The City Skylines is going through some crazy shit right now. People are asking for City Skylines to be bought out and given to a new developer. Pokemon. Dude, I just covered a video about Pokemon and how Pokemon is just, putting out slop year after year after year. And we're like, dude, why can't we have something new with this IP? Why are we just giving it to, the same company doing dead shit over and over again? Same with Activision with Call of Duty. They kind of forgot how to make a good Call of Duty game, and we saw Black Ops 7 being absolute dog shit. I covered that in great detail on the YouTube channel as well. And this is one of the first times that a dead IP is brought back to life. So, this is the, I will definitely link this, because this is on Hytale's official website. Hytale is saved. This is some more direct detail actually from the website. I didn't even realize how big this was. But I will, let me zoom in on this one more time. There we go. A new exciting chapter for Hytale begins today. We're thrilled to announce that we have acquired Hytale from Riot Games. While it didn't make sense for them to continue developing it in its existing form, they kind of wanted the game to be super broad, frankly. They ultimately wanted what's best for the players, and that's for us to eventually play a revised version of the game. We are grateful to Riot Games for making this possible. Over the past few weeks, we've rehired more than 30 developers who knew this game inside and out, with additional returns expected in the coming days. I think the original team, before Riot bought it, was around like 40 to 50 devs, if I'm not mistaken. Together, we're going back to the original vision for Hytale. The original vision. This is the, multiplayer, you can create different worlds, kind of Valheim-esque. And except you have more tools to do things with it. You can have like a racing run, kind of like like a Roblox a little bit, but the base game is like survival Minecraft, but far more RPG and far more survival. And so, like I said, like Valheim. And that was the original vision of the game. And when Riot Games bought it out, it kind of ballooned from there to become like a giant monster of a game. And they went to a new graphics engine that was like a huge issue, and so on and so forth. Anyways, going back to the statement, we're fully independent and fully committed to funding Hytale for the next 10 years. Transactions like this are rare in the games industry. Thank you for everyone to keeping this hope alive. Which is so true. It's absolutely true. So, early access date to be announced in the coming days. Platform will be Windows, Linux and Mac will be attempted. Other platforms much later. So if you want it, get a PC. Pricing details to be announced in the coming days. It is my hope that they do something rare in the games industry, because they're already doing rare. So if they're doing things that are rare in the games industry, let it continue. I want the game to be like $30, maybe $40 at the most. Because if it is, that means a lot of people will be able to sink their teeth into it. And that'll be relatively comparable to Minecraft. Minecraft's price right now is, let's see, let me Google it. It is about $30 right now. So that was where the price is settled. It's gone up, it's gone down, but around $30 is the price of Minecraft. So if it matches Minecraft's price, I said 40, but you know what? I'll revise that. If it's around $30, I think a lot of people will try it. I think a lot of people will be happy to try it. So that's my hope. Expect bugs, expect all that stuff. Last few years, no rush to 1.0 will be the early access launch. That is totally fine. Launch content will be exploration mode, creative mode, and modding. And exploration mode is the kind of like more of the survival stuff. Adventure mode will be like the hardcore, like real stuff, but that's not going to be at launch. There will be mini games as well, but that's not at launch. Totally fair. It is 100% owned by Hytale, no longer at Riot Games for any percentage. This is really good, because a lot of times when it's co-owned, when it's a joint ownership situation, things can get muddled. That's when development hell can start. Riot Games, if they still owned a portion, could be like, hey, we don't want you to do this. Or, maybe you should go in this direction. They still have a say in it. And that is not the case here. It is 100% owned by Hytale. The Hytale team picks it. The Hytale team develops it. The Hytale team basically directs exactly what will happen with the direction of the game. This is a very, very good thing, because as we've seen from the rise of indie games, especially this year, things from all the way like single-person developed games like Megabunk and Schedule One, to a lot larger teams, but still indie-sized, like Expedition 33, and countless other games. When you have a small but agile team, you can make changes faster. You don't have to wait for a committee. You don't have to have crazy amounts of middle management muddling the entire situation. You can at least have a singular vision and direction of the game, and a lot of times that makes for a better game. They have a 10-year of personal funding commitment. Game build is previous engine from the trailer, enabling faster development. So this is actually really, really cool, because what this means is that they're going to the right here. They're going to this engine, not the new engine where they decided to try to revamp the graphics, make it kind of like full on, not Unreal 5, but they were trying to make it like super new looking and everything. And that led to a lot of the delays that happened with Hytale. And that's basically, a lot of the devs said that after Riot Games canceled the game about 4 months ago. So this is a really, really huge thing. I'm so glad to hear this. I don't need it to look like the most beautiful thing in the world. I just want it to be playable. So if the original engine, even if it's a 6-year-old engine, is the most easiest way to make it playable, so be it. I think you're fine with this. I think I'm fine with this. I think most people who have ever followed the game is on this as well. But yeah, going back to it, how did we get here? They hadn't been involved with Hytale since 2020. Hytale's community had always been something that the developers cherished. And so they made an offer with Riot Games And they dove in head first, no risk, no Hytale. They negotiated the deal, rehired the developers, secured funding, and made the call to return to the legacy engine and original vision. This takes absolute cast iron balls. Why we did this? We're focused on building the game that we always wanted to play. Anytime you hear this from a developer, you know that you have a much higher risk of getting, a higher percentage chance of getting a good game. The game that they want to play. Some of the best games ever made were just simply what the developers themselves wanted to play and they wanted to enjoy. I remember one of my favorite little developer interviews was the original team of Halo. And when they were making Halo 2, they had far more time than when they had Halo 1. And when they were making, Halo 2 and Halo 3, the sequels, Halo 1 was like a complete, lightning in a bottle rush job almost, right? And when they were making Halo 2 and Halo 3, they basically went into every encounter just like they did with Halo 1, but it was like kind of like the point of it, where they were just like, is this encounter fun? Is this something that I want to play? If no, put it back to the drawing board. Let's make it fucking fun to play. And they just kept doing this over and over again until they made the entire game. Shocker, something that was fun to play, and as a result, a good game that you and I and everyone else wanted to play. Still a great situation, and kind of something that 343 and Halo Studios now hopefully can end up recapturing, but that they definitely didn't have for Halo 4, 5, and Infinite. But yeah, absolutely, we want to see this. We want to see that kind of view. Their entire goal is to start small and grow with the community. Expect a roadmap to evolve as we learn about the game's needs and how players will respond. It's already changing. What we have today is different from what we had a few weeks ago. And we'll keep it agile and flexible. Like I said, small teams are agile and flexible. Try our best to avoid promises that we cannot keep. We're choosing to focus on making a great game first rather than a perfect engine. Thank God. Thank God. And basically, they're just doubling down on it. Their initial priority is polishing the living world, having modding, having the core mechanics set, and the sandbox experience set. Then they'll shift hard into adventure mode and minigames, which sounds great to me. And then this is like an entire thing where they talked about how the new engine was, the cross-platform engine, was something that was in development for 3 years and basically like an absolute just travesty to develop with. It was just so hard to develop with, and it just really did not do them any favors and was one reason that the game got canceled. And that the legacy engine was something that they went back to. It was a hard decision to go back to the legacy engine, but they did it. And because of that, it is technically playable now. And which is really interesting. So that means all the devs that came out after the game was sold to Riot Games, was killed by Riot Games, they were right. It was no longer rumor that it was playable, and they were so close to being able to have a playable version of the game, and it was just like, a feature creep that killed the game. It is now 100% confirmed. And the game itself, this is some details about what they have. Over 100 NPCs, thousands of items and blocks, but they aren't properly configured yet. Totally fair. Expect unbalanced loot, rough edges, and bugs. This is genuine early access. Please report issues and give feedback. And then they go into more detail about minigames, custom servers, and experiences, and so on and so forth, which is totally fine. But it is all W's. Oh, here it is. So this is the original leadership. Original co-founder. Another original co-founder who was focused on funding as opposed to the game development. And then it was the technical lead, which was from day one. This guy had the technical development since day one. So this is why they're able to go back. And it looks like this guy might be a new guy. Maybe he's original. I'm not sure. But either way, it is really, really good. And so they're committing to it. Play early access even when it's rough. Be able to create mods, report bugs, be patient, make guides, and have fun. So, that's it. Basically, that is it, guys. I just wanted to say that this is, like I said, a crazy thing. Hytale has had a long and challenging journey. I think this is the best way we could end this video. With Hytale's own words, it has taken longer than anyone hoped, and it's changed a lot along the way. But here we are, starting over with a 4-year-old build, a small dedicated team, and a community that refused to give up, and a vision that aligned with a new reality. This is not going to be easy, it's not going to be fast, it's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be all ours, built together one feature at a time, one bug fix at a time, one mod at a time. Hytale lives. Thank you. From the entire Hytale team, and they have some beautiful some beautiful art over here, and I'm very excited, man. I'm very excited. What do you guys think in the comments below? Let me know, because like I said, I think that the potential for this game is insane. This is the magic that people that got people to believe in this trailer. I'm showcasing this trailer because this is the original engine. This is the engine that'll be used, and as you can see, it looks good. It looks good. It looks clean. It looks interesting. It looks more than functional. And it definitely looks like they have a game here. And this is a trailer from 6 years ago. And one of the big questions that the entire community had over the past 6 years is, if the first major trailer for this game, this is the one that we're watching, 61 million views, if it had all of this, we had deserts, we had crafting, we had, character models, we had characters blinking, we had combat, we had combos, we had blocking, we had parries, we had, building, we had everything in between, we had mounts, we had fire swords, we had giant monsters, yetis. If we had all of these details, all of these mechanics in the game, how in the hell were we not able to play it for 6 years? And it looks like now we're seeing the feature creep. Now we're seeing what happened. And thankfully, they're committed to just letting us play the fucking game. I can't imagine a better ending, except for, hopefully, the next video I make, which will include an early access date and an early access price. So when we find that out, I will make another video. So stay tuned. If you want to see more information about Hytale, give this video a like, give it a sub, share it with your friends, and guys, let's have some fun, man. I can't wait. Let me know what you guys want to see in Hytale. Let me know if you were part of the movement to save Hytale, because like I said, it was a movement with thousands and thousands of players creating all kinds of videos about it, including me, but I'm a small creator. It had, absolutely, largest creators possible also covering it, like Bellular and Pirate Software, and some lead creators as well. And I just want to say that I think it was a unified effort to bring the game back. I think if the players in the community of the game were not so loud and so much of a squeaky wheel, we would have not gotten this oil. So next time one of your favorite games is killed, tell me, and I'll cover it. And I really do think that if you are someone who really cares about a game, you want to see it get better, you want to see it survive, you want to see it come back, keep yelling about it, keep making videos, keep making noise. Because noise is what people listen to. It is what companies listen to. Absolutely make videos shitting on the company for killing your favorite game. Do it every single day. It's the only way, the only real recourse you have to possibly save your game. Way more than a petition. Petitions don't do shit. They are nice to create some buzz, but that's it. Things like this, things like creating videos, things like, basically making the most loud noise you possibly can, is the way forward, is the way to solve pretty much any issue in the gaming world. And I'm happy to note and happy to state that it definitely saved the game here for Hytale. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And definitely, like I said, give this video a like, give it a sub, share it with your friends, raise up the voices that actually care about saving good games like this, like my voice and many others. And hopefully I will see you guys in the next video. Let me know what you want to see in Hytale, and let me know what you would like to see me cover about Hytale in the next video. Thank you guys so much for joining in this, frankly, a celebration of a really good event happening in gaming. A rare, just gigantic, unequivocal W. And can't wait to see you guys in, as always, the next video.